My dear students, how are you? I hope you must be in fine. I welcomes you for this e-learning class. As per our the last discussion, we started about the second unit of this chapter of your physics, that is your the scalar and vector. And earlier we discussed what are the scalar, what is the vector, and how the scalar and vector to be your the differentiated, what are the basic character of your the vector, and the vector addition. In our last class, we have proceeded for the vector addition. For that vector addition, we have taken here the Pandava formula. If we remember the Pandava formula, then we can find out the vector addition, not for here the 2 vectors, but for here the 3, 4, 5 and the number of the vectors. And when the vectors are taken together and they are the shape which they are providing, if it is in the form of the triangle, then that is your the triangle law of vector addition, and if it is your the parallelogram, then it is a parallelogram law of vector addition, and if excluding that one any other form having your the more than 3 vectors, then that is your the polygon law of the vector addition. We started about the triangle law of the vector addition. For that one, we said that to be the discussed in your the 2 ways. One is it is the graphical method, second one is it is the analytical method. For your the graphical method, how it will be possible and what are the problems we have solved, and some of the numericals I have provided to you. Probably I have given you the 3 numericals, and I hope so that you must have proceeded for that one, and that 3 numericals with its the direction and the magnitudes I cannot provide you exactly which I given in my last class, but as the provisions I given to you and the indications some provided to you, according to that one I hope you must have done your the examples, and during our the analytical method I also discuss about to that one. So, the second part is it is the analytical method for your the triangle law of the vector addition. Take your the pen and the paper and give your the attention what type of the discussions we are doing here. Okay, my students, please attentive towards this one. That means we are going to find the triangle law of vector addition. Triangle law of vector addition. For this one, we discussed it is the graphical method, and today we are discuss about your the analytical method. Analytical method. I said that graphical method and the analytical method, what is the difference? In the analytical method, we are going to find the magnitude and the direction of that resultant vector, and in the graphical method also we will calculate the magnitude and direction, but for that one we have to need a scale. For that one we have to take in a meter scale or your the small compact scale, and also with your the one protractors. And but here on giving your the what are the datas are provided, on looking to that one we can find out what will be its the resultant's magnitude and what will be its the direction. Whenever a law is there, as you know there is a Pythagorean's law in your the class 8. In that one you will know there is a some statements. So, whenever a law, that means in your the chemistry, the boys law, the girls law, have you heard the name of the boys law and the girls law? No, that is not the boys law and the girls law, that is your the Boyle's law and the Charles law. For the Boyle's law, I am saying that is your the boys law, and if one is the boys, another one must be your the girl. It is a very interesting one. So, that is not your the girls law, that is your the Charles law. Similarly, there is a Avogadro's law, Dalton's law. Whenever a laws are there must be your the some statement. So, either it is your the analytical method or your the graphical method, there is your the statement. Statement. So, what is that statement? First you understand about that one. Though it is the triangle law I given and I explained for the triangle law, at least you are the 2 and not your the more. The most and your the minimum 2 vectors are to be the provided. So, the resultant will be the third one, therefore, it forming your the triangle law. For the statement, when TWO2 vectors, vector means with its magnitude and direction, when two vectors are represented as TWO2 sides of a triangle in same order, we will discuss, this is the important word, the same order, then the resultant will be the third side of the triangle in opposite order. In opposite order. These are the two words we have to first discuss. Same order. Order means if someone is going in your the same statements or the same command which we will provide. Suppose after the end of your the class, one will say that, the teacher will say that you will go in a queue, means that is the order of the teacher. So, to respect the order of the teacher, we have to make here the queue, means when one boy or the girl will go and followed by your the another one, not in its the different way, that is the order. And this is the order of the government, means if the order of the government means we have to obey to that one. So, the same order means where one has to complete, the second one to be the started from that one. When the second one is completed, the third one to be the started to that one, then that is known as the order. Same order means one vector is completes, the second vector to be the started from that point in that direction where the second vector as it is. Where the second is completed, you have to take in the third one, means the tail of the third vector and the head of the second vector to be coincide, and the direction of the third vector you have to take in as it is provided, that is called your the same order. Another one is the opposite order. Opposite means just it is the reverse. Suppose the one vector completes there and the next vector not to be start from that point, it to be end at that point, then we will say that that is of the opposite order. So, the statement is when two vectors are represented as two sides of a triangle. Suppose here the graphical method as we discussed, and now we are just discussing in your the small form graphical method. Means the two vectors are to be the two sides of the triangle, means they are of the same order as I said. Suppose this is your the first vector, same order means what I said, where the first vector completes, the next vector started from that one. You see, if this is the first vector, it completes here, the second vector is started in this direction. Not only that, it is only in this direction, it may in this direction, 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 where it is provided. Suppose this is your the P vector and this is your the Q vector. So, two sides of the triangle, you see these are the two sides, but not it looks like here the triangle. So, triangle means the third one, the open end to be the joint, and that will give you the triangle. Then the resultant will be, as we discussed in the graphical, what will the resultant? The addition of these two will give you the resultant, addition of the 3 will also give you the resultant, addition of the 4 that also give you the resultant, means the parent word is the result, from the result it is the resultant. So, if we join, this is here the triangle it looks. So, will be the third side of the triangle, this will be the third side of the triangle, and this will be it's the resultant in opposite order. So, what I said earlier, opposite order means where the vector terminates or the where the vector started, if the next one is also the terminated at the terminated point, means the second vector is complete here, the resultant will also be complete there. That will be the opposite order. Sir, if it is in the same order, sir, what will happen? You see, if the resultant will be the same order, means this will be complete here. This will be it's the resultant in your the same order. So, where it's the final point and it's the initial point, they two be are the coincided, then what will be it's the displacement? The displacement will be the 0 as per the example. That means the like your the Ganesh and the Kartika. So, out of them who will be the more powerful, and there is a story you know very well. The Kartika with its the assistance, he moved the world and came at the same position. The Ganesh is also at the same position. He find that as it is earlier. So, he said that I own the race, but what the result you know, that the Ganesh is your the real one, because you know that the father and the mother is our the whole world. So, if I just touch there the foot, then that I completes your the whole world, means I under the whole world. Therefore, you see it completes here, it started from here, and the Kartika will make your the total rotations. But what for your the Ganesh? If it is it's the starting point where the both brothers are started their race, the Kartika has gone likewise and came here after some time, but the Ganesh was at the same position. Means the initial and the final, when they two be the coincide, the resultant will be the 0. So, if the two things will be the odd, then the result will never to be the 0, they all will give you the some result, but it will be 0, but when only they are of the opposite and no other cases, the addition of the two vectors will be the 0. Means if this is your the one vector and the another vector will also of the opposite direction of the same magnitude, then the resultant will be the 0. So, here it says that the third side of the triangle in opposite order. How this is not it's the graphical method as we discussed earlier. Means if this is your the p vector, this is the q vector and this is it's the r vector, means this is your the p vector plus q vector. This is for your the graphical method, but now we will discuss it's the analytical method. Next one is the analytical method. So, I am erasing this one. So, for the analytical method, this is the one vector, this is the second vector and this is your the final, means the resultant vector. As the name given, p vector, q vector, this is your the r vector. So, for the analytical method, if this is your the p vector, say its magnitude is your the p. This is your the q vector, its magnitude is your the q. So, what is your the p? P means the magnitude of your the p vector, means if the p vector of the 3 Newton, I will say 3 Newton means it only your the magnitude. If I will say 3 Newton in eastward, then that will be the vector, because this eastward westward they are giving it's the direction and this 3 Newton is the magnitude. If we only write here the 3 Newton, it will never to be the vector, as I discussed earlier also. So, the 3 Newton in the eastward means it is a vector, and if we take its the magnitude, that is of here the 3. So, here p vector's magnitude is your the p, this is the q vector, though we are going for your the analytical means it's the magnitude form. So, this q vector's magnitude is your the q. From this to this, the length is your the q, from this to this, the length is your the p. What the direction is, according to our figure, it is from left to right, and this is from your the if this is your the north, this is your the south, this is the east, this is the west, then this one is your the this much angle from east towards the north we can say. So, this is your the two vectors we have taken and this is the resultant. We are going to find the value of that resultant, means instead of the r vector we will find its the magnitude what will be your the r. So, to find that one we have to make a construction. For that construction you have to draw a perpendicular and you have to extend this one. Let us name it, this is O, this is A, this is B, the perpendicular which is drawn, its foot is your the C. So, this is perpendicular means this angle is your the 90 degree. And this is the p vector, this is the q vector and this is the resultant, this is the angle between the two vectors. As I said, how you have to calculate the angle between the two vectors, like your the two ways, that like your the Gana, which is your the ताल से ताल मिला or head से head मिला. You see, this is not your the ताल से ताल because this is the head of the first one and this is the tail of the second one. So, when the head of the first one and the tail of the second one, what will be the direction? The direction between their angles. You see, this is the direction and this is the second vector's direction. Then this is the angle. This is the angle between the two vectors and this is the angle between the two vectors. If this angle is equals to your the 30 degree, what about for this greater one? That also your the 150 degree. Is it clear, students? No, no sir, no sir. This angle is the 30 degree, this angle is also the 30 degree. If you take at the middle, that angle is also the 30 degree. Let us say that angle is your the theta. Okay. So, what construction we have drawn? Draw a perpendicular from B on the extension of OA, such that after B is the Lakhani. After B is the Lakhani. Sir, what is after B is the Lakhani? You see, the foot is your the C. So, for the foot, where we are getting your the footwears from the company, that is your the Lakhani or the Bata or your the so many names are there. So, after B is your the C. After B, which one comes? That is the C. So, the foot is your the C. That type of the construction you have to make. Theta is the angle between which two vectors. Just I written that is the angle between your the two vectors. So, this type of the construction you have to make. What is our the aim? To find its the resultant. Means for your the resultant, if you will go for your the screen, you will find that there are the two vectors we have taken. One is your the OA, another one is your the OB at your the different directions, but that is for your the parallelogram one, and for your the triangle you can take in your the this way. That one is the for your the parallelogram it is looking, but both are of your the same type. So, this is your the two vectors we have taken, the resultant we have to find out. So, the resultant we have to calculate. Resultant R will be your the how much? How we have to calculate the resultant? So, to calculate that resultant, let us now go for your the triangle of your the OCB. Okay, that we have to calculate. For triangle OCB, for triangle OCB, you see OCB. OCB is what type of the triangle? It is a right angle triangle. This is your the right angle triangle OCB. C is the foot of the perpendicular I have written. So, this is the 90 degree means OCB is your the right angle triangle. In the right angle triangle, there comes the brother of your the Duryodhan. So, who is the brother of the Duryodhan? So, he is not the brother of the Duryodhan, he is also the brother of the Arjun, he is also the brother of your the Karna, like brother of your the Bhima. Who is that person? That is your the kernel. You see OB. OB is the kernel. Kernel means your the hypotenuse. That hypotenuse OB. As I said earlier, for your the hypotenuse theorem, in that hypotenuse theorem we know that h square is equals to b square plus p square. This formula you know. H is your the hypotenuse, b is your the base, p is your the perpendicular. So h square is equals to your the b square plus p square. If the same thing to be your the applied here, h is your the kernel. This kernel is your the OB. So OB square is equals to OC square plus BC square. Clear my students? OB square is equals to OC square plus BC square. This OC is your the base, so that square is the B square. BC is your the height, that is your the perpendicular. P, so that is your the P square. And OB is your the hypotenuse, that is over the R, that is your the R square. Means OB square is equals to this one. Implies OB is which one? Is the magnitude of resultant that is the R. OB square, that is your the R square, is equals to OC square. You see OC has your the no magnitude. OA is the magnitude of the P, AB of the magnitude of your the Q, but the OC has your the no magnitude according to its the provision, and that OC can be written as OS OA plus AC, OA plus AC square plus BC square. Are you clear my students? This is your the OC is equals to OA plus AC, OA plus AC square plus BC square. And if we expand this one, OA plus AC is in which form? A plus B whole square. What is A plus B whole square? A square plus B square plus 2BA or 2AB. So if we expand this one, this will be your the OA square plus AC square plus 2 OA into AC plus BC square, because this BC square is your the this BC square, and this is equals to OA square. Just rearrange AC square and your the BC square, they taken together. So this is your the AC square plus BC square, just I taken together, plus 2 OA plus AC plus 2 OA plus of here the AC. Just I am erasing this statement. So this implies this is your the R square is equals to OA. Which one is OA? OA is your the P. So OA square, that is your the P square, plus AC square plus BC square. You look, AC square plus BC square. This is not again another right angle triangle. For this right angle triangle, this AC square is the base square, this BC square is your the height square. So AC square plus BC square is not equals to your the hypotenuse square, and that hypotenuse is your the AB. So that is equals to your the AB square. These two will give you the AB square. Next comes here the 2 OA. Which one is the OA? Magnitude of the first vector, which is the P. So that is the P. Then here the AC, not air conditioner, that not here the account, that is the AC. It is the one of the length which we have drawn. So this implies R square is equals to P square plus AB. AB means only magnitude. As I said, you see, only P means it is the magnitude of the P vector. AB means it is the magnitude of AB vector. You see, from A to B, if it is the AB vector, what is the magnitude? That is the Q. So, this is equals to your the Q square plus 2 P plus AC. AC, that value is not known to us. So, that is the 2 PAC. So, that R square is equals to this one. Let us take, that is the equation of your the 1. So, R square is equals to P square plus Q square plus tau P. Tau P means that is not your the hat, that is the 2 P of your the AC. The value of the P, it is known to us because the first vector is given. Q, it is the second vector magnitude is known to us, but this 2, that magnitude we know, that is the 2 times. P again is the magnitude of the first vector we know. Then this unknown factor is your the AC. If that AC value can be calculated in terms of the given, which are the in terms of the given? First vector is given, magnitude is known. Second vector is given, magnitude is given. The two vectors are directed as the sides of the triangle, means the angle is your the known. So, we have to find the R by using P, Q and theta. You see, P, Q, P, 2 is the known, but this AC is not known to us. We have to use our the knowledge how to find the value of the AC. Just you see, for your the triangle of your the ACB, in the triangle ACB, ACB, this is the right angle triangle. When the right angle triangle you have to write, always keep the attention to keep the right angles point at its the middle, means ACB means C is must be at the middle. If we write the triangle ABC is the right angle, suppose you will say triangle ABC is the right angle, but B is remain in between your the A and C. But in this figure you see the B angle is not your the 90 degree. So, that not your the indicated towards your the right angle. But as we are writing and we are putting that formula, someone will accept that one, but he will find some error about that one. So, in the triangle ACB, what will happen? This is the angle theta, this is our the base, this is our the P and this is our the H according to our the formula. Suppose I will write sin theta. So, what is your the sin theta? In a right angle triangle, the sin theta is your the P by H, that is your the formula. For the cos theta, that is the B by H. For your the tan theta, that is the P by B. Sir, we have to remember for the tan theta. If you never remember, just to remember the sine and the cos. Sine and the cos is the basic one for your the trigonometry function. If you know the sine and the cos, then you can find out the tan and the cot, the sec and your the cosec also. So, sin theta is equals to your the P by H, that implies sin theta P. P means you are the perpendicular, not you thought that this P means this P I am writing. Just for your the formulation I am saying sin theta is your the P by, just you think it. So, P means you are the perpendicular. You see the perpendicular is your the BC by your the H. H means your the height. Here H means your the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is your the AB. So, this sin theta is equals to BC by AB. That implies if you make your the cross multiplication, then BC is equals to your the AB sin theta. You just take, this is the equation 2, here we have taken the equation 1. Similarly, if you find the value of the cos theta, what is the cos theta? Just I am not writing to make the confusion. The cos theta is equals to the B by H. B means your the base. You see here the base is your the air condition, that is your the AC, by your the H. H means the hypotenuse, that is your the AB. That implies AC is equals to AB cos theta. Just take it equation 3. So, AC is equals to AB cos theta. You see there is a unknown factor of the AC. Now, we have to substitute the value of the AC here. So, on substituting the animal of jungle in 1. So, animal of jungles are what? Animal of jungle means in the jungle there is remain an animal which is known as the bhalu. So, I have written putting the bhalu. So, bhalu means if you gave it the stress, then that is your the value. So, on substituting the value of equation 3 in equation 1 means in your the jungle 1. You take the value from 3 and put it in the jungle number 1, then what will be the result? R square is equals to P square plus Q square plus 2P of AC means AC is the value from the equation 3. So, putting the value of equation 3 will give you the value of AC. So, AC value you put in the equation 1, this is the equation 1. So, AC will be your the A B cos theta. So, this implies R square is equals to P square plus Q square plus 2P of AB. Just you go for your the figure AB is what? The magnitude of the second vector. Second vector magnitude is what? Q, but the vector is your the Q vector. So, that is equals to AB is your the Q with your the cos theta. This is equals to your the R square. Now, just you go through it. P, the value of the first vector magnitude we know, the value of the Q we know, this 2 we know, this PQ is also know, and we know the value of theta. If the theta value you know, you can find out what is the value of your the cos theta. So, cos theta value always give you a number. So, if we will ask one question to you, what will be the unit of your the cos theta? What will be the unit of the cos theta? You just give your the answer, because I am not near to you to hard your the answers, and cos theta unit is your the 0, because cos theta is a value, every value has its the no unit, but the theta is your the angle that has its the unit of your the degree or radian or steradian, as in your the 2D and your the 3D I discussed in your the unit and dimension chapter. So, this cos theta it is a value. Q is a value, this is a value, this is a value, this is a value. So, the right hand side is completely a value. So, that completely value is your the R square. What is our aim? To find the resultant of your the R. Means if R square is equals to that one, then what is the value of the R? It is of your the nuabu. So, if you take the nuabu of your the total one, then that will give you the value of the R. Sir, what is that nuabu? So, when a nuabu will come, he will give you the saris over her head. Means if R square is equals to this one, then the R will be put a cover over that one, which is called the square root. So, if R square is equals to this one, then the R will be your the this one. So, this is your the magnitude of the resultant one. We completed there for the equation 3. This is your the equation 4. So, what is the magnitude of the resultant according to the triangle law for the vector addition, that is P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So, the magnitude of the resultant, as you are looking in your the diagram, the R is equals to your the P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So, that is it's the resultant one, and that figure will shows for your the parallelogram, and this I am showing you for your the triangle. Either it is a parallelogram or for your the triangle, the formula is your the same. Okay, only it's the shape is of the different. Means for the parallelogram, if we take a parallelogram, This is a parallelogram. Suppose this is a one vector, this is your the another vector. If this is a vector, this vector is not of the same one, because they of the same magnitude and of the same direction. If this is your the p vector, this is your the q vector, this vector automatically your the q vector. If the p and the q will be the resultant, then the resultant will be the p and the q. So this is equals to the r vector. So for your the parallelogram, you will take your the two triangles. You know that the area of the parallelogram is the 2 times of the area of the triangle. Means this area of the triangle, what its result, if it is multiplied by the 2, that will give you the whole area of the parallelogram. So in the parallelogram law of vector addition, it is not required to go in here the detail, but for the triangle law of the vector addition, if you know the value of the result and how you have to determine, then you can go easily for your the parallelogram law of the vector addition also. So this is your the R, which is its the required formula for the resultant. This is your the R value. So this is your the square root, this is your the resultant. This is your the R, means R is the magnitude of your the resultant we determined. But what we have to do, for which one we are considering? For your the addition of the vectors. So when the vectors to be the added, the resultant is always a vector. If it is a vector, it has its the magnitude as well as the direction. So now we determine the value of its the magnitude. What would be the magnitude of the resultant? Now we will go for its the direction. Next one for your the direction. Though the resultant is a vector, it must have its the direction. Direction is what? What angles it inclines with its the base vector. It is the angle between the resultant and the base vector, with the base vector. From the base vector, what the angle it makes, that is known as your the result, direction of your the resultant. This is its the definition. Suppose one will say you are standing at this position and a dog came and he moved in the right hand side, then he gone to making the certain angle. Suppose one will ask you, in which direction have you seen that a dog has gone? Then what you are saying? The dog has gone on the left or the right from that square. Means this is its the base one, with the base that dog either it is gone in this direction or in this direction or in this direction. Then that is its the direction, means from the initial that direction what the angle makes, that is its the direction. So direction is always gives you the certain angle. So what is the angle according to our the figure? You see, this is our the first vector, this is our the second vector, this is our the resultant. Then what will be the angle? It is the angle between the resultant vector and the base vector. You see, this is your the resultant, because the direction is in this way, this is the resultant direction, this is the base vector direction. So this angle is taken as your the angle of your the resultant, means that is the direction of the resultant. So this direction means we will say, according to my figure, I represented with your the angle of your the alpha. Therefore this alpha is, if we will calculate, then we will say that that resultant vector is makes this much of your the angle. So that alpha how we have to calculate? To calculate that one, suppose we will take your the tan alpha. Tan alpha for your the triangle OCB. In triangle OCB, Again I am saying OCB is the right angle triangle, because you see C at the middle position, you see the C is the making an angle of the 90 degree. Therefore, not required to write in the right angle triangle of OCB. If you will simply write the triangle with the OCB, if the C is the 90 degree, it will be the right angle triangle. So, the tan alpha, again I said tan alpha, how it is the P by here the B. So, tan of here the any angle is equals to sine of the same angle with cos of the same angle. So, if the sine alpha, sine beta, sine theta, sine theta, whatever may be, that one is your the P by H, cos is always your the B by H. So, this H is your the gone, then that is your the P by B. If you remember P by B, it is well and good. If you do not know the value of the tan theta, then just putting your the intelligence for your the sine by your the cos, you can know that one. So, tan alpha. So, this is the alpha, the value is the P by B. P means your the perpendicular, B means your the base. You see what is the perpendicular? Perpendicular is your the less. Reverse of less. Yes sir, it is the reverse of less, because this is the base C. So, this is the BC, base C, BC by your the B is what? Base. For this OCB, base is your the OC, base is your the OC. So, tan alpha is equals to your the BC by your the OC. So, this BC I just written for the BC. Let us now see for your the OC. OC is equals to OA plus AC. So, that is the OA plus AC. You see BC. Sir, what is the value of BC? BC is not known to you, but you gone through your the equation 1. If you gone through your the equation 1, not equation 1, equation 2. If you go for the equation 2, means we calculated the value of the sin theta. Sin theta is equals to your the P by your the H is equals to your the AB. So, BC is equals to your the AB sin theta. This we have given the equation 2. Then your the we calculated the value of your the AC is equals to your the AB cos theta, that was your the 3. So, BC, you see that is your the BC is equals to your the AB sin theta. So, that is equals to your the AB sin theta by your OA is equals to how much? P. OA is equals to your the P plus AC is equals to your the AB cos theta. AB cos theta. Just you put their magnitudes. AB is equal to how much? That is equals to Q. So, Q sin theta by P plus P is the known value plus AB is your the Q, and this is equals to your the cos theta. So, tan alpha is equals to Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. But for which one we are interested? To know what will be its the direction, means for the value of alpha we are interested, but this is your the tan alpha. And in your the mathematics, you know, if tan alpha is equals to the something, then alpha is equals to tan inverse of that one. If sin alpha is equals to say beta, then alpha is equals to sin of this one of beta. But if you know, if you go for your the properties of your the triangle, then you will come to know in your the mathematics, this sin to the power of minus 1 you never to be pronounced. That is not sin to the power of minus 1. This will pronounced as the sin inverse. Instead of the sin, if that is equals to your the tan, then this alpha will be your the tan inverse of your the beta, inverse. That pronunciation will be the inverse, means this tan alpha is equals to this one, means according to my example, tan alpha is equals to beta. If this total one is your the beta, then tan alpha is equals to your the beta, then what will your the alpha? Alpha is equals to tan inverse of beta, tan inverse. Beta is equals to your the this one is equals to your the Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. this is equals to your the value of your the alpha. So, that we completed in your the equation 4. Let us give this is the equation of your the 5. So, we are interested to find the magnitude and the direction of the resultant analytically, means by making some analysis. Analytically means from your the word of the analysis. In the analysis you will go through your that one and you have to analyze wholly, that is your the analytically. So, by using that one we find the magnitude of your the resultant vector and the direction of that resultant vector r and your the alpha. So, as I said earlier, sir, this is the one of the vector and this is the another vector. Then what will be the addition? Addition will be the this one the vector. If this is the p vector, this is the q vector, this is your the r vector, can you say sir that this r vector and this r vector, the two vectors are added, they to be are the same? If this is the p, it is the same p. If this is the q, this is the same q. P and the q are same, but you see here the direction and here the direction are of the different. When the direction between your the two vectors are varying, means which one is the varying? The alpha, the theta is varying. Here it is the theta. If the vector will come in this direction, then this will be your the theta, means this vector direction in this way, this vector direction is in this way. So, this vector will be your the theta. But if this vector is the theta, this is also your the another angle. So, this is not the angle between the two vectors. As I said earlier, that if the two angles are existing between your the same two vectors, then which angle we have to take into your the granted? Which angle? I said the smallest angle is taken to be the granted, means if this angle is equals to the theta, this angle is also the angle between the same vectors. So, which angle we have to taken? This is the greater one, this is the lesser one, means this angle we have to taken. So, this angle is not equals to the 180 minus of this one. So, if we put instead of the theta 180 minus of that one, then this cos 180 minus theta will be how much? That is equals to your the minus of your the cos theta or your the sin theta. The 180 minus theta, it comes in your the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, what happens? For your the sin 180 on the cos 180, up to your the cos 180, it is your the plus, but for the sin from your the greater to your the 90 and less than of your the 180, it gives you the minus. Is it true? No, sir. Sin 60 is equals to your the root 3 by 2. Cos 60 is equals to your the root 3 by 2. Sin 120 is equals to your the how much? Sin 60 is root 3 by 2. Cos 60 is equals to your the half. If the cos 60 is equals to your the half, then which value of the sin will be the that one of the sin 30? So, if we will go from the more than 90 and less than 180, the value of the cos function will be the negative and the value of your the sin function, it is your the positive. Because you see for your the sin graph, this is your the sin graph, but for your the cos graph, you will find if this is your the origin, the cos graph will be the likewise. So, the cos graph from your the 0 to your the 90, it gives you the plus, but from your the 90 up to your the 270, this value gives you the minus. But for your the sin from this to this is the 0, this is the 180. From 0 to 180, the sin value is always your the plus, but from 0 to your the 90, the cos value is your the plus, but from the 90 to 270, the cos value is your the minus. So, here the cos value will be your the different. Therefore, the r will not remain here the same. Okay. Are you clear about your the resultant and your the directions, resultant's magnitude and the direction? Then we will discuss by taking this resultant and the direction for your the different cases. So, just I have showing you the this one, because this is the helpful for one. Next we will go to discuss different cases. We will go for your the different cases. So, in order the diagram, you on your the screen, you are also looking that what is the value of the tan alpha? Q sin theta by p plus q cos theta. You see alpha tan alpha is equals to this one. So, tan alpha is equals to q sin theta by p plus q cos theta, and in my figure I have taken that is in your the small letters, but in your the screen that is your the written in your the capital letters. So, p is the capital P and the q is equals to the capital, only that is the difference, but the formula is your the same. Next we will go for your the different cases. So, for the different cases, let us now go for your the case 1. Case 1, when angle between two vector is 0. When the angle between two vector is 0. So, angle between two vectors is 0 means theta is equals to the 0. So, here theta is equals to 0. If theta is equals to 0, cos theta is equals to the cos 0, that is equals to the 1. So, if cos theta is equals to cos 0 is equals to 1, if we put in the value of the r will be how much? P square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta, that's root over. But cos theta is equals to cos 0 is equals to 1. So, this cos theta is equals to the 1. So, this is equals to p plus q whole square root over, because a square plus b square plus 2ab. So, a plus b whole square means p plus q whole square. So, p plus q whole square, that's root over, that is equals to the p plus q. So, r is equals to the p plus q. Let us give this equation is your the over boundary. This equation is your the over boundary. Sir, what is over boundary? If one will go over boundary means we are saying that is the 6. So, that is the equation 6. So, we completed in the equation 5. This is for the case 1. For your the case 2, for case 2, when angle between vectors is 4 कोड़ी 10, means when the theta is your the 90. So, when theta is equals to 90 implies cos theta is equals to cos 90, that is equals to the 0. When cos 90 is equals to 0, if we put in the value of here the equation 4, then r is equals to root over of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta, but cos theta is equals to 0. So, that cos 0 into of the 2pq is 0, 0 plus anything is the same thing, means p square plus q square will remain. So, that is equals to the r. So, when theta is equals to 90 means that is equals to the perpendicular, means when the two vectors are perpendicular, then the resultant r is equals to the p square plus of the q square. Then we will go for your the third case. Case 3, when the vectors are in opposite direction, means they are negative. Opposite direction means anti-parallel. Opposite direction means theta is equals to the 180 degree. When theta is equals to the 180 degree, then cos theta is equals to cos 180. Cos 180 is how much? Minus 1. As I have seen you on your the graph, means for your the up to your the 90 to 180, cos is the negative. So, that is equals to minus 1. So, if you put the value of the r, then p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta, that's root over this cos theta is equals to your the minus 1. So, this is equals to p square plus q square minus 2pq, that's root over. So, this is a square plus b square minus 2ab. A square plus b square minus 2ab is whose formula? That is a minus b whole square. A is p here, b is the q here. A minus b means p minus q, that's square, and root over is there. So, when square root over will be taken, then the square will be out, then that is equals to the p minus q. So, p minus q, that is the equation, that is your the 6. This is the equation of the 7, this is your the equation of the 8. So, these are the three different cases we discussed when theta is equals to 0, theta is equals to 90 and theta is equals to 180. So, for your the same two vectors, what is the maximum value? The maximum value is equals to your the p plus q. What is the minimum value? That is your the p minus q. So, by varying your the direction between your the two vectors, that magnitude is your the gradually varying. Are you clear to my students? If you will take it to the note, then it will be the helpful for you, and on your the next coming classes we will discuss what will happen for its the directional values, and relating to that one we will analyze or the discuss, or we will make your the some vividly analysis about your the different problems which are coming in your the entrance examinations. I hope you must keep study and you will never lose your the times and give and make the practice which I given before you, and if you have any difficulties to know that one, you make the pause in your the YouTube and you go through it repeatedly, then it will be helpful for you. Thank you very much my students.